Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got a review of A God in the Shed, and this is by J.F. Dubois. So first things first, I'm going to start with a little blurb on the front cover of this book, and then I'll get into a little more detail about what the book is about, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. There's a blurb on here on the front cover from Jerry Smith of Fangoria and Bloomhouse.com. Now it says, "Move over, True Detective. This is one of the most enthralling novels I've read in the last 10 years. Okay, that's kind of odd because to me, True Detective is not a novel, so I don't see how you can compare the book to True Detective, the TV series, all right? Especially the first season, because I think that is what they're actually touching on as the first season of True Detective, because that's, I think, the vibe that this book might give off, so to speak, all right? The other thing about that is I have learned a long time ago not to take to heed the hype that you see on things like this. And a good example of this is I remember years ago, Michael Keaton was in a movie called Clean and Sober, okay? And it was his first serious role. It was about a guy that had problems with cocaine, and I think he had a cocaine addiction, and he had to start attending like AA or Narcotics Anonymous meetings and stuff. But everybody, whenever you watch the commercials for it, for the advertisements for the movie, you always had this one person or this one voiceover that said, "Give Michael Keaton the Oscar." All right, and I just thought, wow, I mean, I think it's a kiss of death, if you ask me. I think it's, whenever somebody does something like that, I think it's a kiss of death for any actor as far as a chance to get an Oscar nomination or any kind of nomination. And I'm sure, I just thought, wow, I just can't imagine the Academy going, oh, well, we got to give it to Keaton. This guy's already said to do it and everything. So I've got to where I just don't buy the hype on things like this. The synopsis of this book is what sold me on it. And now I'll give you my thoughts and tell you about what the book is about, okay? Anyway, you have a prologue, and it takes place a long time ago, not in a galaxy far, far away, but it takes place a long time ago. Can George Lucas sue me for saying that? I have no idea, because he's like really strange. Anyway, you have these four friends, and they find this, like this cave or whatever, and there is this creature in this cave, okay? And this creature looks, for all intents and purposes, he looks human, but there's just something a little bit off about it. Very strange, very odd creature. And they start to play with this creature, okay? And they go every day and they play with it. And one thing you find out about this creature is that it doesn't like when you break the rules, okay? So something happens in the prologue, and, I don't want to spoil too much about it. But anyway, let's cut to the present day. And this is in Canada. And there's this young girl named Venus McKenzie. And Venus's parents are hippies, all right? Now, that's pretty much what they are. They are old hippies is what they are, They do stuff like go to Burning Man and wear sandals and things like that. They're hippies, all right? Anyway, Venus decides she is going to move into the shed. She wants a little bit of independence, so she cleans the shed out. Well, she's got a camera set up in there because she's got some baby birds, and she catches something when she's watching the camera on her laptop. She catches something in there. She knows there's something in there. She goes in, and this creature, which you can pretty well guess is the creature from earlier in the book, is in this shed. And what this creature does is it kind of makes these murals, but it makes these murals out of blood and bones. So you can, spoiler, I don't want to spoil too much, but a trigger warning, because if you're not into this thing, it does, it doesn't bode well for the baby birds and the mama bird or anything else that comes within its space. So the thing is, though, is that this creature, it's like it says, it's a god of some sort, but it's restricted. If something is watching it, or someone is watching it, it is restricted in its movement. So the camera is watching it because it's a live feed camera or whatever. So this creature is restricted to this shed. Doesn't matter if the shed's open, it still can't get out, all right? So, you know, Venus has this thing, and this creature's kind of like, release me. And she's like, no, no, I don't want to do that. And then she brings her friends to see it and everything, and just various things. But anyway, okay, I'm getting off the track here. But anyway, there's also this organization. You have the Sandmen, and then you have the Craftsmen. The Craftsmen, what they basically are, I believe the Sandmen, if I remember this correctly, the Sandmen want to, they want to stop this creature. And then the Craftsmen, they want to, not so much let it go, but they kind of worship it. So a lot of people in the town are in on this thing, and anything that just so happens to cross into this creature's path, you might as well forget it. That's curtains for it. That's just it. You can forget that. There's a lot of fairly gory moments in this. Some of them are very kind of subtle, you know. But once you start reading them and everything, you kind of do this thing like, oh shoot, oh no, oh that's nasty or whatever. So that's kind of the synopsis of this without giving away too much. It's a little bit of folk horror, if you ask me, and it might be just a little bit of, I don't know, cosmic horror, which may be why they did the comparison to True Detective. I don't know, but I personally just don't think. I think it's just apples and oranges to compare them like that. So how did I feel about this book? I don't think I've ever been as relieved to finish a book as I was this one. I can't think of any book that I've been that relieved to just get finished, all right? This book took me longer to read than anything. It's just like, there are times in this book where the book is just exciting. It's just like you just want to turn the next page, turn the next page, turn the next page. You want to see what happens next. And then all of a sudden it just kind of comes to a halt. And some of the passages, some of the parts of this book to me were just boring. Okay? And it almost feels like, sometimes it almost feels like it was written by two different authors, and as far as I know, it was not. There's a picture of the author right here, and a little biography about him. He's a Montreal native, and says he has an addiction to storytelling and long-form narrative, all right? And a little bit more about him. But it almost feels sometimes like there are actually two people writing this book. And it's like the one person the one person who continues what the other one wrote couldn't keep up or something. I don't know. But I just had moments, like I said, I was really super excited. And then other moments I was just super bored, and that just made it hard to get through. And I'm like, oh good grief, this is just slowing down my TBR for the month. And it has. It's just slowed it down. So I pretty much just thrown my TBR out the window. I'm going to read what the hell I want to read. Anyway, that is kind of my review. I give this 3 stars. All right, it's good, but like I said, it's buyer beware. That's what I'm just going to say. All right, and again, don't believe the hype, because trust me, if you were going to compare these, True Detective is the better bet, especially season 1, which is an absolute masterpiece, okay? All right, so yeah, that is my review of, I put the picture down there, God in the Shed. It's by J.F. Dubow, and 3 stars. So yes, that is it. Anyway, this is going to post on Friday afternoon, and until then, take care and stay scared. Bye-bye.